Good day everyone, I am Crystal Ann Pudong and today we will going to discuss the Module 8 which is the HTML and CSS. My report will cover the history of HTML, its simple structures, HTML tag, web browsers, and HTML editors. But before that, let us define first what is HTML. So HTML or the Hypertext Markup Language is the only markup language that creates web pages. It provides structures like the titles, headings, paragraphs, lists, tables, and embedded images. HTML was developed by Tim Berners-Lee, isang physicist sa CERN. So, ang CERN is isang European Organization for Nuclear Research. So, isa itong samahan ng mga scientists. So, na-develop ni Tim Berners-Lee ang HTML nung siya ay nagtatrabaho sa CERN. He aimed to create an easy way to access and share documents over the internet. HTML has evolved significantly, becoming the foundation for web developers. So let's now talk about the history of HTML. So nabanggit ko na rin kanina na ang HTML ay na-develop ni Tim Berners-Lee nung siya ay nagtatrabaho sa CERN. So ilan pa sa mga na-invent niya is ang www or the World Wide Web, the URL system, and the HTTP. So unang na-develop ang HTML taong 1991 but it is stated here na hindi siya officially na-release. Why? Dahil ang HTML na ito is nasa development stage pa lamang. So, it means kinakailangan pang tingnan kung ano pa dapat yung kinakailangang baguhin at kung ano yung mga features na dapat nilalaman ng HTML na ito. And isa pa sa dahilan is create niya itong HTML as part of his World Wide Web project and it was just a draft or prototype proposal. And it lacked features like the tables, forms, and multimedia support, kaya hindi pa isinapubliko itong HTML na na-develop taong 1991. Then year 1995, nung na-publish na ang HTML, but as HTML 2.0. So mamaya, maidi-discuss natin kung ano yung mga features na nilalaman nitong HTML 2.0. Then, year 1999, nung na-develop naman ang HTML 4.01. So, HTML has evolved with various versions, allowing its user to create web pages in much easier and prettier way. So let's now talk about the different versions of HTML. So the first one is the HTML 1.0 that was published in year 1993. So itong version na ito is purely text-based version lamang. It is intended to share informations which can be readable and accessible. So itong version na ito is plain text lamang, walang kahit na anong nagpapaganda like walang styles, walang colors, at walang fonts. But meron itong mga basic formattings like yung headings, titles, and images. So the next one is the HTML 2.0 that was published in year 1995. So it is the standardized language of HTML and kung ano yung features na nakapaloob or nilalaman ng HTML 1.0 is nandito din sa version na ito. And meron lamang na-add na mga bagong features like the interactive buttons, input fields, tables, and images. So the next version is the HTML 3.0. It was an unofficial draft introduced by Dave Ragged. So si Dave Ragged is isang British computer scientist who played major role in the development of HTML. This version has improved features like better tables, forms, text formatting, and meron na din siyang math support or yung mathematical equations. But due to its complexity, dahil nga mas naging complex na yung mga features na naidagdag o nilalaman ng version na ito, hindi ito fully na na-adapt. But yung best features ng HTML na ito is na-include sa HTML 3.2 na naipublish noong 1997. So So the next one is the HTML 4.01 that was published in late 1999. So ito na yung version na mas pinaganda at mas pinatibay. Ito na rin yung version na sumikat bago na-develop yung HTML5. So dito na rin na-apply yung CSS or the cascading style sheets. It is used to control the design and layout of a web page. It makes website more attractive, responsive, and easier to manage. CSS separates content from its design. It means ang HTML ang naghahandle ng content like the text, headings, and images, while the CSS handles the designs like the fonts, colors, styles, and the appearance. So the last one is the HTML5, which is the extended version of HTML 4.01 that was published in year 2012. It is the latest version of HTML. So itong version na ito is ginagamit pa rin up until now ng mga gumagawa ng web pages or ng mga nagre-create ng websites. So it introduced new elements like multimedia support, better performance, and mobile-friendly features like, in short, pwede na tayong maglagay dito ng mga videos and images nang walang problema. So hindi na ito nahihirapang mag-handle ng mga complex elements. So that is the history of HTML. So we have the HTML 1.0 that was published in 1991, HTML 2.0 that was published in 1995, the HTML 3.0 and the HTML 3.2 that was published in 1997, the HTML 4.01 that was published in late 1999, and the HTML5 which is na-published noong 2012. So the next topic that I'll discuss is the simple HTML document. So dito mapapag-usapan na natin kung ano yung nilalaman ng isang document. So the first one is a doc type HTML. So this tells the browser that we are using an HTML5. So the HTML5, which I have mentioned earlier, is the latest version of HTML. So ang doc type HTML is a declaration that we are using an HTML document. So hindi ito isang HTML tag kundi isang instruction sa browser na ang ating file is isang HTML document. So hindi pwedeng mawala ang doc type HTML dahil maaaring magkaroon ng error o hindi gagana ang isang web page. So makikita natin ang doc type HTML sa pinakataas na part ng ating HTML document. So the next one is the HTML. So it is the root element of an HTML page. So ibig sabihin lahat ng content ng web page is nandito sa HTML like yung head and body. So ito yung pinakaunang HTML tag bukod sa doc type HTML and ito yung nagsisilbing balangkas or skeletal structure ng isang web page. So hindi pwedeng mawala ang HTML dahil kapag wala ang HTML, walang magiging head and body. So the next one is the head. So it contains the meta information about the web page. So ang head is mahalagang bahagi ng isang HTML document dahil dito nakapaloob ang title, descriptions, and keywords. So hindi pwedeng mawala ang head dahil ito ay mahalaga sa browser and search engines. Ito yung isa sa mga nire-read ni browser. So the next one is the title. So ito ay isang mahalagang bahagi ng HTML tag at ginagamit ito upang tukuyin ang pamagat ng isang web page. So makikita ang title tag sa head section ng isang HTML document and ang title tag is hindi direktang makikita sa mismong web page kundi sa title bar or sa tab ng browser. So halimbawa ng pamagat or ng title is magandang destinasyon sa Pilipinas. So meron tayong keywords dito na magandang destinasyon at yung Pilipinas. So makakatulong itong keywords na ito para madali itong mahanap sa Google. So kung wala ang title tag, ang lalabas sa browser tab or sa title bar is untitled document. So sa title tag, dapat maging specific tayo and meron tayong mga keywords para sa ganon is madali itong mahahanap ng search engine and ng browser. So the next one is the body. So ang body is isang HTML tag na ginagamit upang ipakita ang nilalaman ng isang web page. Tulad na lamang ng paragraphs, headings, list, images, links, videos or audios at iba pang elements like the forms and tables. So kung wala ang body, walang makikitang content ang user sa isang web page. So the next one is the H1 or the heading ones, and it defines large heading. So dito, ito na ay ginagamit para sa pinakamahalagang title or headings ng isang HTML document. So ang HTML ay merong 6 na heading tags, which is ang H1 or ito na yung pinakamahalaga or pinakamalaking headings, while ang H2 hanggang H6 is nagsisilbing subheadings nung H1. So bakit mahalaga ang H1? Dahil para sa SEO or Search Engine Optimization and para sa ibang mga search engine, ang H1 ang unang binabasa ng browser upang tukuyin kung ano ang nilalaman or kung tungkol saan ang isang document. So the last HTML tag is the P, or it defines paragraph. So ito ay ginagamit para makalikha ng isang paragraph or talata sa isang documents. So dito sa P section, meron na itong automatic na space. So hindi na natin kinakailangang lagyan ng BR na tag o yung line break para magkaroon ng space. Dahil kapag natapos na natin gumawa ng isang paragraph, is magkakaroon na siya ng automatic space para sa susunod pang paragraph. So that is the simple structure of the document. So we have the doc type HTML, head, title, body, H1, and P or paragraph. So let's now proceed to our next topic, which is the HTML tags. So ang HTML tags are elements names surrounded by angle brackets. So ang HTML tags ay mga code na ginagamit upang ipakita ang nilalaman ng isang web page. So if mapapansin nyo sa ating previous slide or previous discussion, which is the simple structure of the documents, makikita nyo dito like yung HTML, P, body, H1, title. So, ang tawag doon is HTML tags na naka-enclose sa angle brackets. So, ang angle brackets are usually makikita natin sa computer programming or sa mathematical equations, which is the greater than or less than sign. HTML tag has two pairs, which is the opening tags and closing tags. So, ang opening tag at closing tag ay parehas lang, but the difference is, ang closing tag is meron na siyang forward or slash sign bago yung mismong text. So, ang opening tag, it indicates beginning or start, and closing tag, it indicates na tapos na or wala nang kasunod yung mismong content or yung text. So the next topic that I am going to discuss is the web browser. So ang web browser ay isang software na ginagamit para basahin at ipakita ang HTML document ng isang web page. So halimbawa ng web browser ay ang Google Chrome at Microsoft Edge. So paano pinapakita ni browser ang HTML? So kapag in-input natin yung file sa isang web browser, for example is sa Google Chrome, hindi yung mismong HTML tag ang ipapakita ni browser, kundi kung ano yung nilalaman ng HTML tag. Dahil ang purpose lang ni HTML tag is to structure the content of the documents, and ang web browser naman is inaayos niya o tinatanggal niya yung HTML tags, and yung mismong content na lang yung ipapakita niya sa user ng web page. So the last topic that I'll discuss is the HTML editors. So web pages can be created and modified by using professional HTML editors. So here are the examples of HTML editors. So we have here the Notepad++, TextEdit, and the VS Code or the Visual Studio Code. So the first one is the Notepad++. So it is free and open source text editor na ginagamit para sa pag-i-edit ng source code at iba pang plain text files. So ito ay mas advanced na version ng built-in na Notepad sa Windows, and mas marami itong advanced na features na nakakatulong para sa mga programmers at web developers. So, ang Notepad++ ay may syntax highlighting. So, every code nagkakaroon ito ng iba't ibang kulay para mas madaling basahin at i-debug. I-debug, it means tinutukoy niya at inaayos kung mayroon bang error sa programming para mas gumana ito ng maayos. Sa syntax highlighting naman, so kung ikaw ay magko-code sa HTML, yung mismong tags ang may kulay kaysa doon sa text content. Notepad++ ay meron ding multi-tab support. So dito kahit magbukas ka ng sabay-sabay ng file sa isang window is okay lang and walang problema. Meron din itong auto-completion. So kapag tayo ay nagko-code, merong mga lumalabas na suggestions like keywords and names. So ito ay para mas mapadali yung ating pagko-coding. Meron rin itong support mula sa iba't ibang programming languages like the JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, and other programming languages. So, ang Notepad++ is lightweight and mabilis na gamitin, and meron din itong search features. So, ang Notepad++ ay hindi isang built-in na software sa isang window. So, kinakailangan natin pa itong i-download or i-install mula sa isang website. Hindi katulad ng Notepad na built-in na siya, automatic na meron na siya sa isang computer. So the next one is the text edit. So ito na yung built-in na text editor sa Mac computers. So ito ay katumbas na nung Notepad na sinasabi ko kanina. So itong text edit na ito is meron lamang siyang mga basic HTML editing and wala siyang mga syntax highlighting. So ito ay ginagamit lang para sa mga simple HTML files. So sa text edit, meron din itong plain text and rich text mode. Sa plain text is para lamang ito sa mga simpleng HTML files and ang rich text mode naman is para sa mga text na merong mga simple styles like yung bold, italic, underline, and images. So the last one is the VS Code or the Visual Studio Code. So it is a free and open source code editor na ginawa ng Microsoft. So meron din itong mga advanced features like the syntax highlighting, multi-tab support, and multi-file support. Meron din siyang auto-completion and kapareha siya ng Notepad++ na may mga advanced features kaya maganda itong gamitin para sa pagko-coding at para sa pag-edit ng mga files. So kung gusto natin na mas mapadali at mas gumaan yung pag-edit natin or pag-coding ng isang files, so maaari natin gamitin itong mga HTML editors like the Notepad++, VS Code, and the Text Edit.
So, hello everyone. I am Vincent Gotango from Team 8, your second presenter in this video. Before we start our discussion, ano nga ba yung mga nilalaman ng gusto ko munang sabihin at sa inyo na kung ano nga ba yung nilalaman ng aking video or presentation po. So, first thing na malaman po natin is aalamin po natin ang pagsulat or writing an HTML using Notepad. And second is a basic formatting tags, empty HTML elements or HTML elements. The fourth, HTML attributes. And the last one is HTML comments na later on. Marami po tayong malalaman dito. So, kailangan po nating makinig. So, let's start. So, in writing an HTML or modifying a web page, you can use any professional HTML editors. But when you're learning an HTML, you should start with a simple text editor. Example na lang po natin itong HTML, yung Notepad po when we're writing an HTML. So, paano nga ba magsulat ng isang HTML sa Notepad? Here are the 4 steps na ating susundan para makagawa ng HTML gamit ang Notepad. Siyempre, step number 1, open your Notepad. And second, write HTML in your HTML page. In this case, I just copy-paste what I input here. Pero later on, yung mga nilagay ko po dito is malalaman po natin in this video rin. Okay, let's dako naman tayo sa step number 3. So, nagawa mo na, you input your documents in HTML. it's time to save it. So, in saving, alam po naman natin, you just need to save it and to select save as and use ito nga sabi ko dito, use HTML or HTML as extension name, 'di ba? Na-save mo na. Dapat kailangan po nating pangalanan ang ating HTML page ng ganito. So in this case, I use my file name as index and extension name as HTML po ang aking ginamit na extension name here. Sabi ko nga dito, in saving your HTML, you need to use the HTM or HTML as extension name. It's fine po kung HTM lang ang ginamit nating extension name. So, let's dive na po sa ating last step na kung saan ay pag-view or pag-open po natin ng ating HTML. Sa ating pag-open ng ating HTML file, it depends po sa ating kung ano ba yung naka-install sa ating PC or PCs po. And the result should be like this. Ganyan po. So here is the topic number 2, which is the basic formatting tags. Tags are typically come in pairs. So, yung mga tags daw po, nagko-consist po siya ng dalawa, which is the start tag and the end tag. And between them is the content of the element. In writing the tags, para lamang pong yung start tag po natin is parang, yung end tag po natin is parang start tag po natin. Ngunit, meron po tayong forward slash inserted before the tag name. So, here's the example of basic formatting tags. When we are formatting the headings, we usually use the H1. Pag gusto po, H1 tags. H1 tag. When we are formatting ang headings po, we are using the H1, H2, H3, H4, hanggang H6. But, the H1 defines the most important headings sa ating document. Ganito lamang po gamitin ang headings tag or H tag, H1 tag. Siyempre, meron po tayong start tag, which is the H1, the end tag na parang pareho lamang po sa ating start tag, pero meron po tayong forward slash before our tag name. So, meron naman po dito sa ating example number 2, ang paragraph or the P tag. When we are formatting a paragraph, we're using the P tag. P tag. Ito po, P tag as our start tag is slash P tag as our end tag. Ganyan lamang po. Gamitin ang P tag or the paragraph tag. Now, let's proceed naman po sa ating next topic, which is the HTML na kung saan karugtong lamang po talaga ng ating basic formatting tags. An HTML elements usually consists of start tag and end tag with a content inserted between. So, ito pong whole na ating example, matatawag na po natin itong a HTML elements. Itong ating example po. The p tag or the start tag, the content between them, and our end tag. Ganito po usually na binubuo ang isang elements. May start tag, the p, and the content, and the forward slash before the tag name. In this case, in this example po, ginamit po natin ang paragraph elements. Ito po ating example, yan. Pero, paano naman if our elements are walang end tag? It's just itong ating start tag. So, meron naman po tayong matatawag dyan na papasok na po ang ating empty elements with no content called empty element. Usually daw, yung mga elements na walang content ay tinatawag na empty element. This is example of the empty element. Na kung ito. The BR na kung saan ang meaning niya is break line po. Break line po. Syempre, sa pagsusulat ng paragraph paragraph, hindi po mawawala yung break line po if it's too long and it's too long, kailangan po nating mag-break line. So, here example po. Syempre, meron pa rin siyang start tag, the P, and the break line tag. Wala po yung end tag kasi it's just a break line po. And content and our end tag. So, ganito po yung kakalabasan niya if may break line na po siya. Break line, ganyan po. May break line na po. This is break line and paragraph with the line break po. HTML tags are not case sensitive, but lowercase and uppercase works and it means something po. However, it is recommended to use a lowercase. Diba? Napapansin po natin? Usually po, ginagamit po is lowercase. Bakit lowercase? Hindi siya uppercase. So, it's okay lang naman po na gumamit tayo ng uppercase, pero it's recommend po na gamitin ang lowercase. So, yan po ang HTML elements. And with that said, we've covered the basic elements and how to use it. To provide additional information about elements, you need to get familiar with attributes. Attributes provide additional information about HTML elements. All HTML elements can have attributes. Lahat po ng HTML, meron po siyang kalakip na attributes po. Later on, malalaman po natin kung ano nga ba ito. Attributes provide additional information about an element. Ang ating attributes daw is nagpro-provide po ng malawakang impormasyon patungkol sa ating tinapik kanina na element. Attributes are always specified in start tag. Ang ating attributes daw ay nalalagay palagi po sa ating start tag or nandoon palagi ang kanyang lugar sa ating element. And attributes usually come in name, value, pairs, like name is equals to value. Ganyan po, usually, yung setup ng ating attributes, yung pangalan, and is equals to yung value po ng ating elements. So, here example po ng ating HTML attributes. But ito po yung example po ng href and alt attributes. ang ating start tag na kung saan na sinabi ko po na naka-specified ang ating attributes na usually nasa start tag po siya. O, ito po, naka-start tag po siya. Naka-start tag na dito po siya. Ito po ang ating start tag or the ayun nga, start tag ng ating attributes. So, sabi ko nga, ang usually na setup ng attributes is name is equals to value. So, here, example po natin is yung name natin as href, the name, attribute name, is equals to, or ating attribute value. Attribute value, ito pong second page, .html. Ito po yung usually na ginagamit po ng mga tao na kung saan mag-i-input po ng mga links sa ating documents. So, here is the example. So, here is the second example. So, example is the SRE width, height, and alt attribute. In this case, when we input an images in our document, ganito po usually yung setup ng ating HTML elements po. The image, which is the name of attribute name, SRE, ISU logo, JPG, alt is equals to ISU logo, width is equals to 500, height is equals to 600. Where, in this case po, or in this example, pwede po nating palitan, kunyari, ang width, nalalapadan ka po sa picture. So, kung gusto mong paiksiin, ganun po, we can edit it like parang yung width niya is gusto maging 300. So, syempre, hindi siya, liliit po siya. Liliit po siya, hindi po siya, hindi siya yung, parang na-crop po siya, ganun. And, ayun, same as the height. If na sobrang laki niya, ganyan, malaki siya. Malaki yung picture. O, gusto mong paliitin. So, parang i-edit mo lang yung height niya as, kunyari, 200. Siyempre, liliit po yung picture na in-input natin sa ating HTML document. Yan po. Ngayon, maliwanag na po sa atin kung ano nga ba ang ating HTML attributes. So, let's proceed naman po sa ating last topic na kung saan the HTML comments. HTML comments, hindi po siya yung usually na ating comments na alam kung saan yung YouTube comments, Facebook comments, or other platform po sa ating phone. This HTML comments, which are used to insert comments in the HTML source code. HTML comments in the HTML codes. Sabi nga dito, you can add comments to your HTML source by using this syntax or this kind. Ito po, nasa baba po natin ito po yung ginagamit or usually, yung ginagamit in inputting your comments in a HTML. But make sure to note that there is an exclamation point in the opening tag but not in the closing tag. As we can see naman po dito, meron pong siyang exclamation point sa ating start tag. Pero wala po siyang exclamation point dito sa end tag. So, exclamation point, dash, dash, your comment between them, and the end tag, which is the slash, is slash. Ito po yung mga HTML comments are used to help the document, to help document your HTML source code. So as you input the comments, you can use them to place the notification and reminders. Ganito lamang po siya. Kunyari, may example po tayo dito. Ito. Gusto mong maglagay ng comment dito sa ating paragraph element na kung saan sabi niya, this is a paragraph. Pero kunyari nakukulangan ka, magko-comment ka, syempre ayaw mo namang i-edit yon. So, magko-comment ka po dito ng the start tag, which is the exclamation point. Hindi po natin makakalimutan yung exclamation point. And the slash. Tapos yung comment mo, which is nilagay ko po dito sa ating example na remember to add more information here. Dapat sa kanyang paragraph. Ay sa kanyang paragraph element. So, may kita niya po dito as a notification and reminders lamang po sa ating HTML but not usually may kita sa HTML. May kita lamang po siya sa kanyang notification and reminders. Yan nga, sabi ko nga, mayroon siyang end tag na slash lamang. And now with that, na-discuss na po natin ang 5 topic sa aking presentation na kung saan yung una is the basic or yung writing using the notepad. Meron po siyang first step, sinabi ko po kanina. The second one is the basic formatting tags, the headings tags and paragraph tags, the element tags, HTML elements na usually come in pairs, the start tag and the end tag, but the end tag, meron po siyang forward slash before the tag name. And the fourth, meron pa rin yung sa ating HTML elements na meron rin tayong tinatawag na empty HTML elements na kung saan tinatawag nating break line and usually wala siyang end tag. And the fourth one is the HTML attributes na kung saan rin usually ginagamit for inserting links, images na kung gusto mong ipaliitin, palakihin, or you can edit it. And the last one is the HTML comments. Kung gusto mong mag-comment sa kanyang HTML. And yun nga, pero hindi natin makakalimutan dapat yung syntax niya, which is the exclamation point. So, ayun lamang. Salamat sa pakikinig. Thank you.
HTML formatting. Formatting elements were designed to display special types of text. H is bold text. Strong is important text. I, italic text. M, emphasized text. Marked text. Small text. Del, deleted text. Inserted text. Subscript text. Superscript. HTML table. An HTML table is defined with the table tag. Each table row is defined with the tr tag. A table header is defined with the th tag. By default, table heading are bold and centered. A table data cell is defined with the td tag. They can contain all sorts of HTML elements, text, image, list, other table, and etc. These are the example of table. Define the table with the table elements. Define rows with the tr elements. Add heading with the th elements. Add table data with the td element. Adding a border. Border attribute is used to add a border around the table cells. The border attribute of table is not supported in HTML5. Use CSS instead. Like for example, use a border attribute directly in a table tags. Merging cell. To the merge two or more cells, table cells together. Use the call span attribute in a HTML tag. Example is use the call span attribute within the TD tag, not the TH tag. HTML style. The HTML style attribute syntax, like for example, is start with the style followed by an equal sign and then finally use double quotes, which contains the value of the attribute. Where, like for example, is in the head section of an HTML page within a style element.
Good day to all of us. I am Vilmer Harnal Marzan from the Bachelor of Physical Education 1A, and nandito ako para i-discuss sa inyo kung ano nga ba yung mga kailangan nating in-notes or mga kailangan nating tandaan kapag mag-input tayo ng mga elements sa ating mga websites. Okay, bago tayo magsimula sa ating diskusyon, hayaan nyo muna akong banggitin kung ano nga ba yung mga pag-uusapan natin sa diskusyong ito. Una is HTML background color, HTML text color, HTML fonts, HTML text size, HTML alignment, and HTML with CSS. Okay, so our first topic is HTML background color. HTML background color is an essential aspect of a web design that enhances the appearance, readability, and user experience of a web page. Kapag pipili tayo ng mga background colors, kailangan clear siya, hindi siya masakit sa mata, and kailangan nakikita pa rin yung mga elements na nasa loob ng ating website, and dapat din nating i-consider kung ano nga ba yung mga preferable na background colors ng ating mga target users sa ating mga websites, parang sa Facebook, kapag nag-scroll tayo sa homepage nito is, may options tayo kung gagamit ba tayo ng dark and light mode. And, kapag kasi masakit sa mata masyado yung background color ng isang websites, probably na walang gagamit, walang bababad, or walang tatangkilik sa website na ating gagawin. Next topic is HTML text color. HTML text color is an important aspect of web design to enhance the readability, improve the aesthetics, and create a user-friendly experience. Kapag pipili naman tayo ng mga text colors natin is dapat kailangan nating pumili ng mga clear, hindi masakit sa mata, and especially babagay siya sa ating background color, and hindi siya nagko-camouflage sa ating background color. Meron tayong mga iba't ibang text colors na ginagamit sa ating mga web pages. First is ang black. Ginagamit natin ito kapag white yung background, and ito yung mga karaniwang ginagamit natin or karaniwang nakikita natin sa mga web pages. Next naman is ang white, and ginagamit natin siya kapag black ang background. Next naman is ang red, and makikita natin siya kapag may nakalagay na warning or mga may danger sa mga text. And next naman is ang blue, and makikita natin siya kapag may mga link na nakapaste sa mga websites na ating mga binibisita. Okay, let us proceed to our next topic, and our next topic is HTML fonts. HTML fonts are used to control the appearance of text on a web page. They significantly impact a web page branding, readability, and overall aesthetic appeal. Kapag pipili naman tayo ng fonts na ating gagamitin sa ating mga websites, kailangan clear siya and nababasa ng ating mga target users para hindi sila magkaroon ng confusion sa ating mga nilalagay na elements dito. And dapat, by paragraph din sana is para-perohan ng fonts para maging uniform siya and malinis tignan. Kailangan din nating isipin ang visual appeal ng ating mga ilalagay na elements sa ating websites. Okay, let us proceed to our next topic, which is the text size. Text size refers to the height of the text characters displayed on the web page. It determines how large or small the text appears. Kapag magsaset naman tayo ng ating mga text sizes, kailangan nababasa pa rin ito ng ating target users or kahit ilang taon pa ang babasa nito. Okay, let us proceed to our next topic, which is the HTML alignment. HTML alignment controls the horizontal and vertical positioning of a text, images, and other elements on a web page. Kapag naman magpa-plot tayo or mag-a-align ng mga elements natin sa web page, kailangan din nating isipin yung overall na visual appeal ng ating presentation, and kailangan nating siguruhin kung pantay ba yung mga text or kung even ba yung mga spaces ng images, kung masyado na bang malaki yung mga images, kung pantay-pantay ba ang laki nito, and kailangan nating isipin na hindi dapat na aglalaban sa Ilocano, and kailangan nating isipin talaga yung overall na visual appeal ng ating web page. Okay, let us now proceed to the last topic, which is the HTML with CSS or cascading style sheets. CSS styles and enhances the appearance of HTML elements including colors, fonts, layouts, and responsiveness. So, in generally speaking, ito yung magiging base ng ating mga websites kung maganda ba ang pagkakaplat ng ating mga elements sa ating website. Kumbaga, ito na yung complete package ng mga elements na nabanggit natin nung una, And kasi nandito na yung fonts, colors, and responsiveness. And I think that is the end of my discussion. I am Vilmer Harnal Marzan from the Bachelor of Physical Education 1A.
So now, before I start, I would like to introduce myself. I am Francesca Andrea Antalan, and I will discuss about the inline CSS, the internal CSS, external CSS, CSS fonts, border, and CSS cell padding and alignment. Inline CSS. So inline CSS is a way to apply styles to an HTML document by including CSS rules within a style tag inside the head section of the document. So now I have here an example of inline CSS. So the style attribute is added to the HTML tag in this case. So inside the style attribute, you write CSS properties and their values separated by semicolons. So each property value pair follows this format. Okay, so inline CSS is best for testing or making very small, specific changes. For larger projects, internal or external CSS is usually the better choice. So now let's go to internal CSS. Okay, so internal CSS is a way to style an HTML document by adding CSS rules inside a style tag within the head section of the page. So it applies styles to multiple elements on the same page but does not affect other pages. Okay, for an example here, the internal CSS inside style applies styles to the entire page. Okay, so the body background is set to light blue. The H1 text appears in dark blue and at a larger font size. This method keeps styles organized but only works for a single HTML file. Okay, next, external CSS. Okay, so external CSS is when you store your CSS styles in a separate file and link it to your HTML document. This keeps styles separate from HTML, making code cleaner and easier to manage. So here's an example of external CSS. So the link tag in the head section connects the HTML file to style CSS. All styles in style CSS apply to the linked HTML file. Changes in style CSS automatically update all linked pages. So external CSS is the preferred method for large projects, websites, and when maintaining a consistent design across multiple pages. Now, let's proceed to CSS fonts. CSS fonts allow you to define the style, size, and weight of text on a web page, enhancing readability and design. This helps improve readability and design consistency across web pages. Okay, example, font family specifies the typeface, uses Arial, and if unavailable, falls back to a sans serif font. Okay, so font size defines text size, the number 2. Sets the text size to 24px. You can use px, em, rem, percentage, or vw. Okay, so the number 3 is the font weight, controls text thickness. So it makes the text bold. Values can be normal, bold, or numerical. So 4, we have here the font style. Sets normal, italic, or oblique text. So it italicizes the text. And last, the text transformation changes text case. It converts text to uppercase, other values, lowercase, or capitalized. Now let's proceed to border. Okay, so border allows you to add lines around elements, defining their width, style, and color to improve the layout and design. So borders can have different styles, colors, and width. Okay, for an example, the basic border combines width, style, and color in one line. So 2px, the thickness of the border, solid, the style of the border, which creates a continuous line, and the black, the color of the border. So this adds a 2-pixel solid black border around all elements. Okay, so 2, the border style, specifies the type of border line. So the solid, a continuous line, the dash, a series of dashes, the dotted, a series of dots, double, 2 solid lines, the groove, a 3D effect that makes the border look carved. So each style provides a unique visual effect for different design needs. Next, the border width sets the thickness of the border. So the 5px creates a thick 5-pixel border. So this property can use thin, medium, thick, or specific units like px or em. Okay, so last, the border color. It sets the color of the border. Okay, so the border will appear in red. So you can use name colors, and then the number 5. So individual border sides. So border top, border right, border bottom, and border left allow customization of each side. So border top, 3-pixel solid blue border at the top. So border right, 2-pixel dash green border on the right. The border bottom, the 4-pixel double black border at the bottom. And then the border left, 5-pixel dotted red border on the left. So this creates a unique border style for each side of the element. 6, the rounded borders. So rounds the corner of the element. So 10px gives the border a slight curve. A higher value makes the corners more rounded, And using border radius 50% creates a circular shape often used for profile images. Okay, so in summary, these CSS border properties allow precise control over how borders appear around elements. You can customize thickness, style, color, and even make rounded corners for modern design. And the last that I will discuss here is the CSS cell padding and alignment. Okay, so CSS cell padding refers to the space between the content of a table cell and its border, helping to control the inner spacing for a cleaner look. Cell alignment controls how the content inside a table cell is positioned, such as aligning text to the left, right, center, or vertically. Okay, so key difference. Padding controls inner spacing, and alignment controls element positioning. So, using both helps create a well-structured and visually appealing layout. So, for padding example, padding 20px adds 20 pixels of space inside the div, pushing content away from the border. Okay, so border 2px solid black makes the border visible to see the padding effect. So padding helps create breathing room inside elements for better readability. So next, the text alignment example. Text align center aligns the text horizontally in the center of its container. Okay, so the other values, left, align text to the left, and the right, align text to the right. So justify spreads text evenly across the width, so useful for headings, paragraphs, and button text. Okay, so the block alignment with flexbox. Okay, so this is commonly used for centering elements inside the div or full page layouts. So that's all that I will discuss here.